Hey, this is Peter Dankelson from Pete's Diary, and you're listening to Tom and Zeus on the Shout It Out Loudcast.
And reports tonight on how destruction is impacting the campus community.
Names of O'Hara Hall, Skid Row, T-Zone, Banff.
Badass motherfuckers.
Somp, sit on my face.
Drinking like fucking ass pre-gaming, as we call it. What is this dorm damage bill on our tuition statement?
Dorm damage?
Well, we only broke like 3 chairs and 4 desks this month.
Is that a positive thing? Bam! That's right. We're back with another episode of Dorm Damage, the show where anything and everything is on the table and the table gets smashed. This week, it's episode 62. And we're going to wax nostalgic this week with a top 10 list of what, Zeus?
Video games.
Oh,
so that
yeah.
could be like console system games at your house or at the arcade, things like that. Everything's included, but we're not talking about ping pong.
No, we're not talking about pinball. We're not talking about friggin' skee ball. We're talking about the video games you used to play when you went to the mall and went to Dream Machine or Aladdin's Castle. Remember those places at the mall?
Yeah. Yep. That's where we're going. So we got a top 10 list. Tom, why don't you lead us off?
All right. Real quick before I get into my list, just let me indulge myself a little bit here. So I think we come from the generation of we're the first real video game generation, meaning like you have a teenage daughter. My son's going to be 20, but like we're the first generation where we grew up with video games. So when our kids are playing them, it's like we get it. Like I play video games now, and sometimes I play with my son. I'm a nerd and I'm pretty proud of it. Okay. And I grew up going to Maine for the summers where they had a classic arcade. It's still there. I grew up getting all the consoles. I bought them for my son, still all that stuff. So this was not an easy list, but as usual, when we do lists, this will be probably part 1. We'll come back.
Yeah.
So,
what's interesting is that we basically had the first console that came out. And I remember it was like 70 something, late 70s when Atari came out.
Yeah.
And I remember my cousins getting it. And it was the biggest ordeal to have Atari. And you know what it is. And it's like, then you started making friends with the biggest nerd because their parents bought them, had Atari. So they'd hope their kid would make friends. And you'd go there and use him, eat their food, play their system, and would fucking shove them in a locker when you saw him at school.
Yeah, and then you had like I don't know if you remember, Magnavox had the Odyssey, ColecoVision, Intellivision.
Yeah,
you know. Then you had obviously Nintendo, and then it just kept going.
PlayStation came out, and then all the rest of the stuff, Xbox and stuff. And now people just do that with podcasts. Like, be my friend, come over and be on my show. Be my friend, Godfather. I need some friends. Come on my podcast.
Play video games with me. Please.
Like yes.
All right, let's get into the list. I kind of have like a top. I don't know. This is kind of tough. I did try to rank these, and this is tough because we're not doing honorable mentions because this is part 1. But at number 10, I'm going with the original Punch Out, not Mike Tyson's Punch Out, the one in the arcade, where you would hear people saying body blow, uppercut, knock him out, not, Glass Joe and all that shit. Not the console one, the one in the arcade. That's the one I'm going with.
That one, they both had Bald Bull, who I fucking hated.
Yeah, but which one had Tony Dungy?
Soda Popinski? Or Don Flamenco?
Piston Hurricane, Don Flamenco,
and then there was King Hippo. His pants would go down. You had to hit him in the belly.
Yeah, I had to hit him in the belly button when his pants fell down. Yes.
Yeah. The other part is I like the little vignettes where fucking Mac would have his bike stolen, and it looked like he was chasing him, even though he was riding the bike. But it looked like someone
his coach stole it from him,
and it looked like he was chasing him because he stole his bike. Mike Tyson's Punch Out, you name it. It was fucking awesome. We all loved it. It was fucking incredible. There was Sandman too, wasn't he?
Sandman was like impossible. Yes.
Right.
So both games had some of the same players, and then some of them had different names. And of course, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, you had to beat Mike Tyson, which never got that.
Piston Honda
was in one, and then Piston Hurricane was in the other one. Yeah.
And then there was wasn't the guy with the fucking turban and the diamond would shine?
Oh, the diamond show. Yeah, when the thing shined or lit up, you had to hit him the right way. Yeah.
Tom, I think you were referring to the German von Kaiser.
That's it. Oh God.
Von Kaiser was the name. Right? Oh, and we also almost forgot Macho Man.
That's right. Yep.
That was another guy. Obviously, Glass Joe was the
Glass Joe was
Tiger and fucking.
That's right.
So remember the thing where Mike Tyson was on the hoverboard?
Yeah.
And it was a real video of him.
Yeah.
And he tried to use it. He got it for Christmas. And he was in his house and he fucking wiped out. And what somebody did is they superimposed your guy, Little Mac, and he goes,
yep.
He punches it.
Punched him out. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that was just the best.
That was good. Yep.
Kiss.
Oh, everybody's seen that.
All right.
What do you got?
For number 10, I'm going to go with an old school game that I liked. And that was, I believe it was on Nintendo.
Okay.
Castlevania.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Right?
That's a classic. Yes.
And you would be like in different parts. You would be in like Frankenstein's thing and you'd fight Dracula and all these other things. I just remembered I had a lot of fun with it.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
Ask me to describe it now and the graphics and like everyone gets all, that shit sucks. It was fun. It was fun. And I enjoyed it.
It was great. All right. Number 9 for me. This was a console game. I believe it was for Nintendo, but it originally was in the arcades. I don't know if I remember playing it in the arcades, but it was Contra.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, see?
Yes,
you remember that.
Contra.
It was capitalizing on all the friggin' Arnold hype, the Rambo shit. And that's what it was. And it was like, it was so, again, these are the games we had nothing to compare to. So at the time it was like state of the art. But now you're like, this is terrible.
Yeah, but I enjoyed nowadays, like the shit that they have now. Fucking your guys have
Call of Duty.
Yeah, like have like fucking cut marks from previous battle wounds that you can fucking define backstories to characters and shit. It's just way over the top.
Yep.
I've got a game that I used to play at the Burlington Ice Palace when I used to skate over there, Tom.
All right, do it.
I played this a lot when I was younger. That was the original track and field.
Oh, with the buttons. You had to hit the buttons.
And you would fucking try to make the guy run. And it was always Super Mario.
Oh.
And then you had the long jump, the hurdle, the fucking running. Oh my God. Do you remember
that's a great game.
Yeah. Yes. Track and field.
That's a great one. I love that. All right. Number 8 for me. I'm going to go back to the kind of the shoot 'em up games. This was my very first experience with a Call of Duty game. And it was I think I had this on Xbox 360, I think. And it was Call of Duty Black Ops, the very first Black Ops. The graphics were incredible. There was a story involved where you would progress through the years. Like it started in like the late 60s and then it would go into the 70s, and the graphics and the fighting was incredible. Then Black Ops 2 was good. Black Ops 3 is kind of when I drifted off, but that very first one was so good. So good. Love that stuff.
To me, like those games became too overwhelming.
They did. They became hard.
I would get those games and I hear like people like finish that and they're going to the next one. Like, dude, I could play that game for a year and not get through everything.
Right.
And with all the side missions and all this.
That's because you have a life.
Yeah. Like I don't understand all the fucking, and like you buy these games and they would sit there because you didn't get through the first game. You're still working on, right?
Yep.
So that shit was tough.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay old school.
Go for it. I got some old school ones coming up.
I remember how much I used to play this. And I don't care where or what. If you're our age, you played this all the time. Not Mrs. Pac-Man.
Oh, with the lipstick and the bow.
Yeah, and the the fruit would float.
Yep.
I mean, everybody played Pac-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Pac-Man had, you name it. It was everywhere. T-shirts, toys, everything from a video game.
It was the first
Cartoons.
real, dude, there was a song, Pac-Man Fever, I think was a fucking song.
Inky, Blinky, and fucking whatever would chase you. Like,
aren't those the guys that lived in pits?
Yeah.
Blinky?
Poor kid had a fucking impediment of some kind. We're like, hey, what's up, Blinky? Oh, fuck.
Everybody had a fucking nickname. Blinky. All right.
What about Fast Break? Egg Leg Pete. That poor kid. The kid had a limp from some fucking, I think he got run over by a car and his leg was dangling. And sometimes he would play basketball with us at the short hoops.
Yeah.
We'd play and people would call him Fast Break.
Yeah. Well, how fucking terrible were we? I was just going to say, how terrible were we? How terrible are we? Fast break Pete. Oh, God.
Anyways.
That's a good episode. Top 10 Stonehill nicknames.
Poor guy.
All right. Number 7 for me. This is one of the all-time classics. And for me personally, I think this invented like the rage quit where you want to smash the controller because you fucking you've tried getting through the level 25 times and you're this close and you just can't fucking do it. And that is the original Super Mario Brothers for Nintendo.
Oh,
I still love it to this day. I love all the Mario games. And again, that's one of those things where it's kind of passed on to my son with all the Mario games that he plays. But that first one where you could progress and then you just couldn't get over the fucking hump. There was something popped up, a fireball came at you, or fucking Bowser did something, and it's like, oh, so good.
Yeah, I know everybody got into that one.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm gonna try to switch this up. This is now when we got into PlayStation.
Okay.
And that's Tekken.
Oh, so good.
But
one of the great fighting games. Yes.
But I'm not going to just stay with Tekken. Okay. I got the Star Wars Tekken game.
That was a thing?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I had it. And you could be Luke Skywalker with the lightsaber and stuff and fight against somebody. And then when you would win, he became wicked effeminate. He put his hand on his thing like a teapot and go, oh, I used to swim wombats when I was a kid. And we'd always be like, what the fuck happened to Luke? It was just,
I'm supposed to pick up some power converters at Tashi Station.
He became wicked effeminate. But yeah, Tekken, or even the original Tekken, but there was a Star Wars Tekken.
I don't video remember game. That.
I had it.
We grew up in the greatest generation of you had actually I don't want to say anything in case you have more on your list, but those fighting games like Tekken, like those battle games.
Yeah, right. and that's the thing. Like, I'm sorry, the it was on original PlayStation, Tom, and it was called, I think, Masters of Terrakasi.
Okay.
I'm looking at it. Came out in 97.
Okay.
Right before, I believe, the original, not the original, but Phantom of the Menace.
Okay.
It was out because I remember the kid, he was a friend of mine from law school, turned me on to that game. And I remember we both went to go see Phantom Menace, but he had that game before that.
Okay.
And it was fucking awesome.
Nice. That's awesome.
Someone has it, as I'm Googling it, someone has it in the Bad Game Hall of Fame.
Really?
Why? Because he could have probably been so much better, right?
Yeah. Okay, so number 6 for me, I'm going to go to arguably my favorite arcade game. And there were 2 versions of this. There was the sit-down version, but more commonly that I played was the stand-up version. And to this day, looking back how they created this, it's so cool even to this day. And that is Spy Hunter.
Okay.
The driving game where you could pick up smoke screens to launch off the back of your car, oil slicks, your wheels could have spikes. If you progress far enough, your car turned into a boat. Your car turned back into a car. And it was just like, it was just a straight ahead racing game. but you had to battle your enemies, and as you progressed, they came from all angles, and you had to use all these little add-ons to try to defeat them. And it had that Peter Gunn soundtrack, that dun 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 dun. Oh, one of my all-time favorite, like actual physical in the arcade games. I love that one. I don't think that ever came out on a console version. Maybe somebody can correct us, but I don't ever remember playing it anywhere but an arcade.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna go with number 6. And that for me is Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah, of course.
Classic game.
Yep.
I fucking love it. I think one of my favorite things I think about that game is on one of those celebrity roasts.
Oh no.
Yeah. Pete Davidson said to Shaq.
Oh no.
Hey Shaq, if you're here, who's throwing the barrels down?
Oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. Shaq was laughing at it, but I mean, how do you not love Donkey Kong? And there's that great documentary about the guy that broke the record or something. The Donkey Kong thing.
Yes. Yep. All right. Let's go back to me. I'm at number 5, and this is a game that I admittedly still play today, but it has memories going all the way back to college, through college, postgraduate. Me, you, and Jimmy used to play it. Then I got into it when I got consoles in here, and I still play to this day, and that is Madden football. I'm not gonna pick a specific year because I've been playing it for friggin' over 30 years, and it gets better and better and better and better. And there are so many amazing memories of that game, and it's just I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. It just got too complicated.
It's even worse now. You wouldn't believe it now. It's insane.
Again, now you can count the fucking amount of sweat drips on a player.
Yeah, it's like, crazy.
Oh, press this if you want him to fucking spin the ball in his hand as he's running. Like, what?
It's way too much. The play calling, the features, the functionality, it's incredible.
Yeah, it made it too complicated. I don't want just play the game. Mm-hmm. Press the buttons, and it's just too hard for me. But I liked it from years ago, around the early 2000s. I think it was in its best.
Yep. Agreed. Yep.
All right. Number 5 for me, I'm going to do about the same type of game in those EA Sports, and that is the NBA's EA Sports. NBA around 99, 2000. I was playing that constantly.
Was it NBA Live? Is that what it was called?
And I would be the Sacramento Kings with Weber, and then even the earlier years when he was on the Wizards, and he had Mark Price and Latrell Sprewell choking out of people.
Yep.
Those games are so much fun. And then you could be the classic Celtics guys and stuff, and you would play with that Celtics team, and you just Bird is hitting everywhere from 3. McHale, you could jump McHale from like behind the 3-point line, and you would do that double pump, slam dunk. It was just insane. But those games are a lot of fun. I used to play 2-minute quarters.
Yeah.
And play my cousin in that.
Yeah.
And pick playoffs. And we would each have a team on each side and would see how we could do it. And we'd play each other with each squad going and see who would win it all.
Nice.
So much fun.
Well, I'm going to stick with the basketball theme. And you may already have this on your list, but talk about Stonehill College memories. Junior year specifically. NBA Jam.
He's on fire.
Endless battles. It was a simple to play game, 2-on-2. No crazy buttons. It just did what it did. And then, like you said, when you got on fire, the ball caught on fire, the rim got on fire. And then we learned how to unlock secret characters.
With no internet.
You could unlock Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. You could, if you did like up, down, left, right, fucking whatever, all that shit, you could unlock characters. But we used to just battle. And everybody would always be like, the Celtics and all. It was so fun because it was easy to play. And you could play
always take,
and you could play
Miami
drunk.
Heat.
Of course you would. Yeah.
I took Glenn Rice and Harold Miner, Baby Jordan.
That's right.
What happened to that guy's career? But on that game, that guy could fucking dunk from the other side.
Yep.
Oh my God.
The game was so fun. It was so simple and fun. Yep.
I'll come up with an old school Atari game. Pitfall.
Oh, I almost had it on my list. I'm so glad you picked it.
With the fucking safari hat. And dude, I remember the part where you would have to jump on the alligators' heads.
Rage. And if they opened their mouth while you were on them,
yep.
Oh, God.
And you swing on the fucking rope.
Yep.
And then graphics that I could design now,
and then occasionally you could drop down into the pit and walk underneath, and it'd be like scorpions.
Yeah,
and shit. Like, yeah. So good,
fun game.
So good. Okay, so now we're getting into some more Stonehill memories, but this isn't the biggest Stonehill memory because that's going to come up later, but this is probably tied for the first, and this is especially our first 2 years at Stonehill. And I don't want to pick a year. I'm going to cheat like man. I'm not going to pick a year. I'm just going to pick the game. And that is Sega NHL Hockey.
You took my number one.
That's okay. That game is just, I don't even know where to begin, the amount of fun that we had. They took the blood out of the game. Then I think they put it back. And it was just incredible. Incredible amounts of fun. Endless.
We had a once in a lifetime tournament our senior year.
Yep.
And I won it.
Yep.
I beat Dell.
Yep.
I had the Red Wings.
Yep.
Paul Eisenbart over to Sheldon Kennedy, the one that got molested.
Nice.
Scored the goal. And I'll never forget. Like I had won the cup.
No, didn't that have Yzerman, Fedorov,
Lidstrom, Konstantinov, anytime, remember him and Don Sweeney? They were like, there were a couple players like that. The guy Kasperitis too. Like if your guy went anywhere near him, your guy would get fucking drilled into the fucking board. You couldn't get around him because they would fucking pop you.
The one thing I always think of with that game is it always pops into my head when I think of that is fucking Jeremy Roenick's slap shot. Oh. It was a fucking goal almost all the time.
Yeah. There were certain players. Tomas Sandstrom.
That was the guy
for the Thomas for the Kings. But anyways, there were guys like that, like unsung guys, and maybe 30, 35 goals. But in this game, fucking score from anywhere. Dave Vanderchuk in that game.
Yep.
Oh, it was fucking ridiculous.
The game was so fun. So many battles with that. Endless battles. Yep.
All right. So number 3 for me is Guitar Hero.
Hell yes, it is.
On easy level, I think it took me a whole year to finally finish that game on easy level.
Yep.
I mean, what a concept.
Incredible. I remember buying the Metallica one. I remember buying, did Aerosmith have one? I remember buying all of them. And the fucking game was incredibly awesome.
And I think they had like the Slash guy on the cover. And, and the other part to it was, I remember I bought one was like AC/DC. And I was like, AC/DC songs. But it was all fucking AC/DC live concert. I'm like, fucking, I don't want fucking Brian Johnson singing Dirty Deeds. Like, what the fuck?
I'll never forget. This is how where my life is right now is that one of the proudest moments ever was, I forget if it was it wasn't easy. It was medium or maybe even the next level. I'll never forget. It was like midnight and I finished Raining Blood by Slayer. And it was the most unbelievably, and everybody in the house was asleep. I was downstairs playing it and I had nobody to fucking watch it with me. And I was just like, oh, I did it.
Yeah.
And it was all, that game's amazing. I wish they would bring it back.
Yeah. Yeah. Those games are fucking incredible.
So good. All right. Number 2 for me. So this is a franchise, but I am going to pick the very first one because it's the first one that obviously got me into it. Everybody who listens to the show knows I'm a huge horror fan. And to me, this is the invention, the creation of survival horror video games. And they've evolved into some absolutely spectacular games. But the original OG Resident Evil for PlayStation 1, so fun, so scary, so hard. So what an amazing concept on, like, you had to gather weapons and ammunition and tools to survive. And you had to gather like first aid kits and
never played.
Like, incredible. And the first one right now, it's like prehistoric looking and they're all the way up to like Resident Evil 8 and et cetera. And the graphics are obviously amazing, but such an awesome game.
That's great.
Yep.
Number 2 for me is the first one that I bought from this series, and that's the Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Yeah. Oh, Vice City. Yes. Okay.
Where you're basically Scarface.
Yeah.
It's and I'll never forget, like, you're just running over women, beating the bag out of them, taking their money. You just walk up to people and punch them in their face and take their money, and you could just kill anybody randomly. It had no social redeeming quality. Sometimes I'm like, this is the downfall. But then again, sometimes I'm thinking like, well, this is a way you can get released. It's not real, but it's dehumanizing. I'll never forget. There's a segment in that game where it's like, bing, you have 3 minutes to kill 40 Haitians with a chainsaw. So you see these fucking racist Haitian people walking by, like dancing and shit, and you have to get a chainsaw just like Scarface and fucking cut them all down. Yep. What the fuck is wrong with people?
I remember when that game came out, and I'm like, what? I mean, I remember thinking like, oh, I don't want to name any games because I don't want to spoil anything, but I remember like certain games, you're like, how is this allowed?
Yeah. And then they made, I remember, because that's probably my favorite stuff. You've heard me talk about it many times.
Yeah.
Law and Order made an episode of it.
Yeah.
Where some fucking guy ran over a girl and they're laughing and they're like, what the fuck? I don't get this. And Elliot Stabler's son is like, oh, that's just like the video game. What do you call it? It's like, what do you mean video game? He goes, watch. And the guy's fighting these shows of like, you run over the person, take their money and shit. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fucking crazy.
Oh, man.
All right. And for me, number 1, this was easy. The greatest video game of all time with the greatest Stonehill memories ever. It's still super fun to play this time. It is the super version, not the original version. Super Tecmo Bowl. The greatest. The graphics are ridiculous, but the game is so fun. It was 11 on 11. It had real player names. The game was corny and cheesy and beyond fun, and we fucking had a blast for 4 years we played this game.
Certain people that their regular career, they sucked.
Yep.
But because of Tecmo,
they became a name. Yeah.
Fucking the Nigerian nightmare, Christian
Okoye. Yeah.
Like, as anybody says his name in the NFL, probably like, I don't remember that guy. Yeah. Fucking, if you play Tecmo, you remember Jack Del Rio blocking every punt, every kick.
Every kick. Yeah, exactly.
You did the, what do you call it, move? The shit move, the nose guard trick.
Yeah, the nose guard trick. Yeah. Jerry Ball for the Detroit Lions. All you do is sack people. And then you could put a shitty quarterback in who had no throwing speed, and he would throw these, we used to call them cheapy deepies because it would just be a rainbow that you couldn't defend.
And then the legendary Bo Jackson in that game.
Oh God, yeah.
And Bo Jackson played the whole game.
Yeah, Bo Jackson, if he's in excellent condition, because remember, like, oh, he's in good Bo's in excellent condition. Just people would, not only would they bounce off him, they'd go into like the stands.
Dude, Family Guy did an episode where he was
I remember. Yes.
Bo Jackson just fucking with everybody, right?
Yep.
I mean, it was absolutely so much fun. And then we would play these tournaments. Everybody had a team.
You could play seasons. Yeah,
right?
And it would keep stats.
My favorite thing was it depends on what kind of mood somebody was in.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, especially fucking LaCourse would do this.
Oh,
hey, it's fucking Lynchy's turn. Where is he? He's got class. Skip him.
Yeah.
Dude, it was such a dick move. You come back from class, the whole time you're thinking like, nobody better skip me.
Sorry, we skipped you. Well, did I win? No. What the fuck? Yep.
That really over everything changed it for us. Really.
That was a game that was like that lasted, that and Sega NHL were a 4-year event pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Number 1 for me. It's my favorite game. I've had it for like 3-4 years. I play it still. I'll never get through with it because there's always a million new missions. And that's Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Odyssey. Okay. What a great game.
So this is ancient Greece. Dude, my dad's island and village is in that game. My mom's side. Yeah. Everything, like places I've been to. It's all like history, Greek stuff and all this stuff. Yeah. However, I got to tell this story, and it's the funniest thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
There are things in the game, because it's ancient Greece and stuff. There's a lot of bisexual shit going on.
In the game?
Yeah. So I didn't realize this. So you can meet people and they'll, here's your option. Ask them a question, do this, fight them, this and that. You have different things you can do. Well, one of the things they would have is heart. And I didn't understand what that meant. I just thought it meant, oh yeah, this guy's good. You want to like him.
Okay.
Next thing I know, I press the heart. The guy takes my character in a scene where he picks my character up, brushes off a fucking table, and like jumps on top of my guy. I'm like, what the fuck?
Are you sure you got the right version?
Dude, my guy's getting fucking raped by some dude.
What?
You can have like gay sex in this shit. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what the fuck. I'm like, And so more and more, because once I went down this path, I would get more and more options with other men. That one of the offers was like, hey, you want to fuck?
Can we please grab some sound clips from this episode and use these for future episodes?
I felt as though I got raped.
Are you sure? Was this like this sounds like Grand Theft Auto Grease?
Dude, the guy clears off the fucking thing. And then the other one's like, another scene is like, oh, I want to get the answer to find out who the mystery's got. Come with me and I'll show you the answer. And you can go with him or something. Next year you come back, you walk back from the curtains like you're adjusting your fucking belt and stuff. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I think it's hilarious that this is your number one video game.
And I couldn't get him to do this with women the rest of the game. I'm like, how do I get him to like fuck with women again? Like, what the fuck?
Sorry, when you started the game, you selected homoerotic version.
You can be him or you can be his twin sister. So the twin sister would have the same thing. She can fuck around with women if you want to.
Oh, how's that version?
I don't know. I'm still with my gay guy that I fucking bang around guys in Greece all day long. But the game is so fucking much fun.
It sounds
There's a
great.
million adventures you could do and play and fight and all this stuff. It's just like I can't even come close to completing it.
Well, no, I mean, you're too busy friggin' jumping guys.
I'm too busy getting raped, dude. The fucking, when they show that cutaway scene and the guy's like clearing off the fucking table and he picks my guy up and throws him on the table.
Why is that part of the game?
Well, because it's like R-rated. They swear throughout.
No. I've never played Odyssey, but I played a couple different versions of Assassin's Creed. It's a great game. Holy shit, dude. That's amazing.
Dude, I was like, what's my guy doing?
Well, that's a good exclamation point at the end of this episode.
Anyway, those are our 10. I hope you guys enjoyed the list. And till next time, peace out, Girl Scout. Oh, you over here? Yeah, I'm over here now.
Zeus, it's me. I want to end the show now.
Jesus Christ, Tom. Jesus Christ. Let's end the show now while we got the muscle.